Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to High School Wrestling on the Region Sports Network, streaming live at Facebook.com/Region Sports, RegionWrestling.com, YouTube.com/Region Sports, and RegionSports.com. We come to you tonight from Crown Point High School as Team Toyota in Schererville presents the Crown Point Bulldogs taking on the Merrillville Pirates in a DAC Wrestling Showdown. My name is Nathan Laird. I'll be joined on the call of the matches tonight by Louis Acuna and Mike Reiser. Good evening, guys.
Good evening.
What's going on? Good
It's
to be back with the region, huh?
Yeah, it's been a little bit since we've done some wrestling, since the Carnahan-Hobart Super Duels, but Merrillville, Crown Point, no matter what the sport, can't pass that up. And, Mike, we got some pretty good matches here tonight.
Yeah, sounds like 126. We're going to lose one. That would have been a good one. Two top-ranked guys in the semi-state, but always a great duel. This is one of my favorite rivalries. Coach Maldonado, usually it's kind of a weird year, right? Because they usually be coming off of a holiday tournament. Merrillville would go out to the Al Smith 32 team.
Right.
And Crown Point used to not do it. Then they were out to Al Smith. They were supposed to go out to Brecksville. So they've been off. We got to see Crown Point on that quad in Indianapolis. And they took 2 losses there. So not pretty familiar territory for those guys.
Yeah, not too familiar for those guys to lose back-to-back like that. But so that's why I'm expecting Crown Point to come out firing today, to get back in the win column and try to really put it on the Pirates tonight.
Yeah.
And this is a time of year where pressure starts picking up a little bit as the tournament getting closer and closer, just a couple weeks away from the sectionals as well.
Yeah, I think, and obviously you guys were in a good room over there, Louis. This is the time where you're not teaching as much. Now you're starting to get ready for the tournament. Like, you're not learning a lot. You're kind of, making adjustments to your game and trying to make that deep run. And these are 2 programs that are always good. I think they're doing the national.
We're going to have the national anthem. Our national anthem as we get set from wrestling here at Crown Point, the Bulldogs and the Merrillville Pirates going at it here on a Wednesday night. Mike Reiser and Louis Acuna along with us here on the Region Sports Network. Bobby Quinn, our camera operator this evening. Our executive producer is Chris Ramirez. Thanks for joining us here from Crown Point.
Portage is in the DAC. This is always a cool night because I think a lot of the other conferences wrestle Tuesday, Thursdays. And this just feels like, Friday night football, you're the only show in town. Wednesday night in the region, your DAC is the only ones that used to wrestle. I think some other conferences have spread, but, I'm sure you guys have had some big Wednesday night duels.
Oh, yeah. Always big Wednesday night duels, especially against Merrillville. That was also a good rivalry while I was in high school. And then Crown Point when they were loaded during my time there, too. So it was always good to get a crack at them, but usually it was on a weekend.
You mentioned that, being featured on Friday night. Got some unfortunate news today, Friday Night Wrestling, that Hobart Crown Point duel on the 22nd has been taken off the board. I haven't gotten an exact reason why just yet, but that was a Friday night under the lights. We were there last year, Mike, and they made a big presentation out of that, doing a Friday night. The gym was packed for that one at Hobart High School. Fortunately, the this year's version, which would have been here at Crown Point, got canceled this afternoon. So.
And this was supposed to be, I think yesterday they were thinking this was going to be at like 70% capacity, and then we went back to red. Now it's
right. I was told it was at about 4 o'clock this afternoon. They got the word that fans were not going to be allowed in. Parents allowed here today, but no fans.
So we got Alec Pioski And Stephen Roberson, Pioski's ranked in the semi-state. He's not ranked in the state. He's number 5 in the semi-state. Roberson number 1 in the semi-state. And down at Perry Meridian, the Bulldogs were without Roberson, so that was a huge loss for those guys.
Yeah, that's one of your seniors. He's a gamer. He usually gets after it, and you could always rely on him for a nice W. But Pioski, he's one of those guys that are on the rankings borderline to make a push to get down to Banker's Life. So he's trying to make a statement for himself here tonight too.
Oh yeah, and I believe this was a ticket round match last year, with Roberson winning. I know this is a guy I know Merrillville's really high on. They said he's a real good listener. He's a guy that's really improved. But, when we're doing the broadcast with Crown Point, I always feel like Roberson's length is a problem. Like, I don't know if there's a lot of guys in the state that use their length as well as Roberson does.
He snatches with his length that left-handed single on almost everybody that I see him wrestle.
And his head-and-hand defense is, and I think that's even more because it's hard to get through that length. Like, you're not going to be able to go straight on because he's so much longer than you can get you extend it.
Yeah, you're going to have to get him moving if you want to score. Find your angles. Can't stand right in front of him because those arms are hanging for some good down blocks to catch you in a front headlock.
Our first match of the night here, scoreless with 40 seconds to go in the first at 132 pounds.
And this is kind of one of the times what really happens. In the rankings, we actually released them today. It's a ton of changes because this is where you got your 2-pound allowance now. Pioski coming down a weight. He's wrestled as high as 45 this year. I think this is a good move for the Pirates. I think you bring in Pioski down. Now you're going to bring down Malik Hall to 126, which is probably a more comfortable weight for him. 20 seconds left here.
Yeah, and it looks like he's feeling good. I don't think it was any weight issue at all for him to come down. It's probably his natural weight class. But again, getting used to wrestling some stronger guys earlier in the year, being at a natural weight, and then coming right down in a comfortable weight class to make your push to get into Banker's Life.
Roberson beat Nathan Schammert in the ticker round last year. Pioski was a regional champ, and he lost to Aiden Torres in the ticker round. So
tough draw.
Yeah, I would say 32 is not the weight you want to be. You also have a very tough. I can't even think of his name off the top of my head. The Portage kid.
Jack Coyle.
Jack Coyle.
Then you got Cole Solomon.
I seen Larkin Webb of Rensselaer. He'll probably be the Logansport champ. Will be down. That's a tough stall call there. I don't think that he's not trying to return him.
Yeah, he was working hard to get it. I mean, Roberson, being a savvy vet, just staying poised right there, not moving. Hopefully the official was vocal with kind of a countdown there to let him know. So you could just cut him and not take that stall call so early.
Yeah.
And here we go, that left-handed single.
Deep shin whizzer there. Come up. He's good at finishing here. I think he's real good with that bump single, too.
Oh, yeah.
Too.
Stephen Roberson up 3-0, a minute 12 to go here in the second in our opening match of the night. Crown Point and Merrillville in a DAC duel.
132 is just one of those nasty weights in the state. I mean, we were talking a little bit off air with Zeke Seltzer at 26, who's returning champ. Sergio Lumley went up this past weekend to wrestle him. Great match, an incredible match. But you got a lot of those guys that maybe could make 26. Like, I'm going to try my luck at 32, and you got Jesse Mendez at 38, and those guys are going to say, hey, I'll cut a little extra weight. Maybe I can win 32.
Yeah, it's a bit of a melting pot weight class, what I like to call it. These guys, hey, I'm not going to take the chance of going against those like kind of blue chip recruit guys that are really favored to win.
Good turn there. He's going to have two. He got 2 swipes already. That wing.
Yeah, when we saw Crown Point wrestle at Portage, I mean, this is what once he took down, I believe he wrestled Underwood that day, right away went to that chicken wing and working over and just sitting.
There's a fall.
He gets the fall with 19 seconds to go in the second.
At 32, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 medalists, 12 medalists. So it's going to be a lot of guys. They only hand out 8 of them.
And they only hand out 8. That Friday night's going to be fun.
So Roberson with the fall. So we're going to have a freshman here from Merrillville, Cameron Crisp. Kind of drew the short end, right?
Yeah, Mendez wearing the throwback Asics shoes tonight, so he's looking to put on a little show, a little baptism by fire here for the freshman.
Yeah, coming out to a little throwback Pac, too.
Yep.
With Mixer.
Good defense there by the young freshman from Merrillville. Is it Cam Crisp?
Yeah, Cameron Crisp.
Let's go through the mind of a young wrestler when you know you kind of got the tough assignment going into an evening.
Against Mendez, I mean, fight.
Yeah, you're one of the. I mean, he's one of the best guys in the country.
Right.
I mean, I think he could probably he competed at the world level. It's tough. You know, different coaches approach it differently, though. I know there were some guys that say, "Hey, go out there and you know, don't give up bonus points." It's gonna be tough here. Some guys are gonna say, "Hey, go out there and do your best." You know.
Try to find some positive that you
Yeah, you want to try to win little positions. If you're, what I tell my guys in the room, if you're wrestling one of the studs in the room, you got to set small goals for yourself. Hey, just get to this leg, then build from there. Win these little positions, and hopefully it builds into something better out for yourself while you're wrestling.
I like that he's been backing up. He's going at him. I know that we talk about that a lot with the top guys. A lot of guys that back up, they don't want to give them matches. You know, they let fear, more. And these are still high school kids,
Yeah.
Really good high school kids. I mean, he might be one of the best to do it in Indiana ever.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to be a debate when he's done. They're going to look at it. And he's like a guy that puts up points. He's exciting to watch. There's a fall.
He gets the fall with 26 seconds remaining in the first.
He's such a good kid, too, man.
Oh, yeah.
Because you've seen a lot of good guys come through, and they're not always the best guys. He's a top-level kid.
Yeah.
So you have Cody Goodwin, also number 1 in the semi-state. So Crown Point for the East Chicago semi-state is pretty stacked. They're almost number 1 in almost every weight class. Cameron Williams, I think the last 2 years, has wrestled Mendez here, so he's going to try his luck with Goodwin, who's also incredibly good.
Yeah. Yeah, these guys work cut out for him here. This middleweights for Crown Point is just a murderer's row. I mean, almost the whole lineup. But
Yeah.
This section right here is stacked.
It's the meat. Yeah, right here. These are those guys that they're gonna rely on definitely in down at Banker's Life to get that team run going. Because they lost duels this year, but this team with the heavy hitters they have and guys that are ranked that high, scoring those kind of points in a team in a individual style tournament could poise you really good to finish on top of a podium.
And Cody Goodwin took his first loss down at Brownsburg to Hayden Watson, who's a really good wrestler for Center Grove, in a really good match. What I think we talk about it a lot, Crown Point's main competition in the semi-state is going to be, ooh, that's tough.
Oh, that was a dirty throw.
Is going to be Chesterton, but they're coming out of the same regional, so you're not going to have those death draws that maybe some of those Brownsburg guys might have with a modern day coming in the same semi-state, or Cathedral, Warren Central, Perry Meridian, Ron Colley, all those Carmel, all those Indianapolis schools that are stacked.
Yeah, you got the schools of Merrillville, Hobart, Portage there. They might end up getting those death draws, unfortunately, for those guys.
And it goes in waves.
Yeah.
7-1 in favor of Cody Goodwin. 40 seconds remaining in the first. Merrillville up 12-0 overall in the duel.
Yeah, Cody Goodwin had some really good matches on there, and that's one of the good things about the pandemic is that you're getting a lot of these teams chasing better matches and shorter. So you guys had the Cathedral, Franklin, Crown Point, and Portage, where they went down there. They wrestled Columbus East, and they wrestled Center Grove, who's going to be really good for the next couple of years, and Perry Meridian. Another fall.
9 seconds remaining in the first. Cody Goodwin gets the fall over Cam Williams.
So now you're going to have Caleb Carter and Javin Estrada. Javin Estrada getting a really good fan base in Indiana. They're really loving this guy across the state.
Yeah, I'm seeing it all over the message boards. He's just an exciting kid to watch. He really leaves it all out there to go score points and put on a show. And he's competing. He's putting himself right in the mix with facing all the top guys right away, too.
You go out there and you're competing with guys like Brock Ellis right away, getting that win. Matthew Kuntz gave him his first loss on the year. Matthew Kuntz was the state runner-up last year to Mendez at 38. So But I know across the state, everyone was like, where'd this guy come from? Like, he's exciting style, especially all those Indianapolis guys.
And then we saw right away he comes out having outside elbow control, and that cowboy tie or elbow binds, I like to call it, and just right into a little duck under, cuts him, and then right back in on a single leg.
Yeah, and I think when you're watching it, it might just look like he's going at it, but like you said, those are good ties, those are good controls. That's what you want to be in. Good cradle locked up right here. Minute 15 left. Caleb Carter had a really good freshman-sophomore state last year for the Pirates, too, which is a really cool event I like.
Yeah, I really like that they added that in to really get these younger guys more experience, especially if you're on JV. Your season kind of gets cut a little bit shorter, and you get that opportunity to go qualify and then go compete there and face a lot of the top guys from different parts of the state and see where you rank.
Estrada gets the ball with a minute remaining in the first.
So you're going to have Xavier King here and Orlando Cruz. With the freshman-sophomore state, I think, there's a lot of teams, and I think Crown Point's had that last couple of years where they had a lot of depth behind some of their starters where they were able to, get some guys some extra matches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Cruz going to work here early. Hitting his little drag by there. He likes to do a lot, controlling that tie on the right side. Drags him right by, gets to his offense.
And I like that attack. It's a low-risk attack. You're not going to, you're not putting yourself in a position to give up points there.
6-2 Cruz, a minute 22 left in the first. All Bulldogs so far, 24-0. 4 falls for Crown Point in the first 4 matches. Only one of them's gone to the second.
Yeah, they've been off since December 23rd. So these guys are
right. They were ready to get back.
They're ready. I think they're ready to get back.
And I'm sure Merrillville was similar to that.
Yeah.
Where they were off. I think since the Penn Super Bowl, which might have been the same day.
You're watching High School Wrestling on the Region Sports Network, presented by Team Toyota on 41 in Schererville. Do business with the team that supports wrestling, Team Toyota.
The scary thing about Crown Point is they're returning almost everybody. Like, they're losing Roberson and they'll lose Javin, but everyone else is back.
Yep.
Not good news for the rest of the state.
Where, we were talking about Mater Dei. They just won the 4A team title. I believe they have 6 to 7 seniors in their lineup.
Yeah.
Good seniors, too.
Yeah, Crown Point, they're going to be scary for the next couple of years, and probably even after that, too. I mean, they got I think one of their middle school teams won conference in their conference this year, too.
And you see on social media a lot what the younger programs are doing, how much they're working with the youth programs here and everything. It's become a wrestling destination.
So, and I'm sure Lewis can speak to that a little bit more. When you were a kid, I'm sure there was a lot of Illinois wrestling. Did you like IKWF and all that growing up?
Yeah, I did all that. I mean, that's what I grew up wrestling in. I grew up originally in Illinois, so, I mean, that was my first exposure to wrestling was in Illinois. Moved over in Indiana as I got in elementary school. Had no idea what what their state tournament looked like. But, yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys, you grew up wrestling in the Chicago area, and that's just the hotbed for wrestling, and you're getting quality competition and starting from, you're 8 years old.
And Illinois was always they've been ahead of Indiana. Illinois is a really good state in wrestling, and like he said, the Chicagoland area is unbelievable. That's where the best guys, some of the best guys in the country at the NCAAs are, Illinois, Chicago guys.
What are some of those high schools in Illinois that are dominant wrestling programs?
Montini, Mount Carmel.
St. Rita, the Chicago Catholic League.
So similar ones you see during football, or
those guys are. There's a lot of the football schools are powerhouses in wrestling.
Because we've seen Brother Rice come over to the Harvest.
Yeah, and
in recent years.
They've had some really good individuals. They had Hassan Johnson a couple years ago, and the Glivka brothers, but they're in the same situation. They have, they used to have that Harvey Twisters Club, which was producing world caliber guys. And some of those guys would be at Mount Carmel, some would be at Rich East. Washington's a good smaller school out there. Good Turk here.
13-4 in favor of Cruz. Minute 15 to go here in the second.
Yeah, Oak Park River Forest has had a good run. But probably Montini right now is probably the best team out there with Izzy, Martinez, and those guys. Another fall.
There's the fall, minute 6 to go in the second.
But IKWF was like a kids wrestling league. They had all their clubs, and they would have these huge events. And Indiana's starting to get to that.
Yeah.
You know, now we have the elementary duels that Crown Point won.
Yeah, Crown Point.
You know,
won it, yeah.
they won it over the weekend. It was Sunday. So now you have Nick Tattini and Tuggle here. Joshua Tuggle. So right now it's 30-0. 5 falls so far for Crown Point. And it's difficult. A guy like Dick Tattini could be down possibly a weight next year. It's just, you know, where do you fit in? He's a returning state qualifier. You know, 38, you're really tough. 45, you're really tough. 52, you're really tough. 60, you're really tough. And, you know, it's like, hey, eat up and get strong. And
yeah, get in where you fit in.
And some other programs say, hey, you got to cut a couple weight down. Crown Point's at the spot, like, hey, you know, do your best. And he's tough, man. He you know, you seen last year in the ticket round where he wrestled the Riley kid come from behind and win in overtime.
Yeah, I like him a lot. He's always going to be a game opponent, even up at this weight. He's going to be a problem in the semi-state if you get him as that ticket round draw. So,
and 170 is one of the deeper weight classes in the semi-state. You're going to have guys, you know, possibly. Let me just, you know, pull up the unupdated rankings right now for semi-state. We did the state rankings today. Didn't update East Chicago, but you know, 170. You're going to have guys like Pate Easton, who was a medalist in Illinois, who came over to Penn.
yeah.
Jacob Simpson, possibly. Jacob Linke, who was a state qualifier. Nick Tattini. Cade Johnson, Chesterton. Aiden Sneed. Jason Tankersley from Winnemac, who was you know, undefeated going into the semi-state last year. Dylan Kwiatkowski. Jesse Herrera of Highlands unranked. Jake Suze of Lake Central's unranked. So that's one of the deeper weight classes in the semi-state, which is really exciting.
30 seconds remaining in the first. Nick Tattini of Crown Point up 2-0 over Tuggle of Merrillville.
And every year at the state finals, whatever team's going to end up winning the championship for the IHSAA is the team that's going to have someone that's going to score points that you weren't thinking about. And, you know, they're expecting the Jesse Mendezes and those guys to get big points. Now they're going to have some guys filling that's going to have to get a run. You know, last year, Logan Frazier was a guy that made it to the semifinals. Maybe they didn't know if he was go there. He had Cole Ross Saturday morning, which is a really tough match.
Yeah, and now he's one of those guys that you expect to be up there, so they could really rack up those team points while they're down there on that Saturday morning to make that climb on the podium to really build up those points for them. So
yeah, the two most exciting rounds in Indiana high school wrestling tournament for me is the ticket round because there's no rhyme or reason. It's a blind draw. You got a champ, a 4, a 2, and a 3, and you have no clue how it's gonna go. You know, they're just like, hey, like, you know, the Hobart Regional got the, you know, Crown Point runner up. So there's no rhyme to it. There's the stall right there. And then the state quarterfinals, that Saturday morning match is the match also where there's no rhyme or reason to it. Like, you have no clue. You could have maybe the third and first best guy wrestle in that match, and that's where the state championship's determined at. So 2 takedown, 2 near fall there. As a coach, when you're getting hit with that stall, you're probably saying just let him go and not give up the switch right there, right?
Yeah. You just let him go, back up, reset on your feet. I saw Maldonado was not too happy about the stall call because he was saying that Tattini was holding the position there. But to Tattini's credit, that's a vet move right there. He kind of just hang out. It's that guy's job to return you or make it look like he's trying to return you anyway. So way to be savvy there and kind of draw a stall call.
And Todd Evans is a good official. Todd Evans, you know, Valpo grad, very good wrestler when he was in high school.
I noticed you didn't say the same about Larry Babcock.
I was going to say Larry's handsome, man. I thought he was the looks. I thought he was out there for all the ladies.
Larry's a member of our RSN team, so we can make fun of him.
I said Larry looked like he lost a little bit of weight. He looks a little leaner. All that volleyball coaching, I think.
We've been putting him to work on the broadcasting a lot lately, so maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, and he's reffing everything, so he's
It's true.
always moving. Larry is sticking and moving.
Climbing ladders. Larry's out there doing the, you know, the hard work, man. But, you know, both of these programs, and Portage. Who was the head coach when you were there?
Pat Wilkins.
So Pat Wilkins, and he was in a real good Portage room. Portage has done a good job of bringing coaches in. David Maldonado wrestled at Iowa State, so he has an idea how to train. When he was a senior, that's when Kayla was there. Bobby Douglas was his coach. Bill was at Edinburgh. I think Lorick wrestled at SIU Edwardsville. Vince was a All-American at Lassen. So you have tons of talented coaches. I think that's the difference between some of the better teams and the mid-range teams is these guys are learning how to train at the college level.
Yeah.
And you guys are doing that kind of with the RWA thing. Is those guys are training guys to train at the highest level. You got guys in there that have been All-Americans, that have been some of the best guys in the country.
Yeah, NCAA champions, All-Americans. Now we get to put on the notch an Olympian. So
Tatini gets the fall, 1:28 remaining in the match. That's 6 matches, 6 falls for Crown Point.
Yeah, they're all business tonight.
Yeah. Ryan Gonzalez and Seth Willems. Seth Willems, another highly regarded wrestler, number 3 in the semi-state. And Seth Willems was a guy coming up a couple weights. I thought he won the freshman sophomore state championship last year. So I don't think that he's scratching the level of his ability. He's a guy that could make a run at the state finals and possibly get himself a medal and help the Bulldogs win a state championship.
Yeah, he's a young guy. I think. Oh, yeah, you say he won freshman sophomore state last year.
Yeah.
I believe he was a freshman last year, right?
Yep.
So sophomore, looking to, got a lot of quality experience last year. Looking to crack through and take it around.
That's deep. It's gonna be another foul.
Yeah, it's gonna be another fall.
There's the fall, 30 seconds into the match. Seth Willems with a very impressive performance.
Nice near bar arm, half on the other side. You got to be kind of a long guy to do that, and he's constantly going forward on top. And that's the theme that you've been seeing all night. Once these Crown Point guys get on top, they're going to work for the fall. They're going forward, putting pressure on your hands, and looking to score.
Yeah, and here's Will Clark and Zion Garcia. I know Zion Garcia was in the lineup a couple times last year for the Bulldogs. Will Clark, a freshman. I know they're super high on the 2 freshman twins here. They're young, and this is where Crown Point's a little bit younger. They're young across the lineup, but, you have 2 freshmen at these upper weights that are generally, senior-laden weights.
Yeah, so that's especially going forward. You already got these young guys up there, so and they're gonna stay up here obviously at these upper weights for you, and so they're gonna be quality guys in the next couple of years that they're gonna be really relying on. That will make runs on the podium themselves.
Right, and you're only gonna get better wrestling the schedule these guys are in. Right, good takedown there.
Yeah, it's good. That was a good knee pick and really ran through, moving his feet really well.
Mayor David Duran and the City of Crown Point are proud sponsors of Bulldog Wrestling. The Bulldogs continue to display great leadership on and off the mat while piling up victories as they strive towards another championship run in 2021. Speaking of championships, the City of Crown Point has been recognized as the best place to live and the best downtown for 13 consecutive years by the best of the region. Building a stronger community from within is the winning formula as Crown Point continues to work as a team to provide a great place to live, work, and play.
That's deep. And I think the Clark brothers do a good job already, even as freshmen in the top position. They're very good.
There's the fall with about 30 seconds remaining in the first.
I think Merrillville's going to get on the board here. They
Yeah.
got Jason Streck, number 2 in the semi-state behind Bates, returning state qualifier. And Paul Clark. And Paul Clark, kind of what we said earlier, this is be a good one to see where you're at,
Definitely as a freshman. Hey, you're getting one of the top guys, returning state placer, right? He was a state
qualifier lost in that Friday night overtime match.
Yep.
Is this the last of the Struck brothers, or is there any?
I'm not sure if he's the last one. I think so, but I know that, man, they've had a good run.
There's been an awesome run of Strikes at Merrillville.
Yeah, if you're Maldonado, you're pretty happy about that family lineage that's come through. And he's repping his brothers right now. He's got the Go Pokes Oklahoma State Cowboys on one side of his headgear. Then he's got the candy stripes of our Go Hoosiers, my alma mater, on the other side of his headgear. So,
And, Jason, I think, he's grown into this weight. I think he started at 52 or 60, where his brother Sean was heavyweight all 4 years, medaled all 4 years, and there's not a lot of 4-time medalists at the heavyweight.
Yeah, you could obviously saying his body's maturing, he's growing into the weight, he's jumped up levels in this weight class because he's had the frame for it, and it's just all about putting the right food in your body and being in the weight room. And there he goes, getting into his offense.
Especially at the bigger weights, I really like that attack, that bump single, get to your underhook, get into a dominant position, elevate. He's taller than a lot of guys. I mean, Will Clark here is pretty tall, but he can elevate that. You can try to go that elbow pass there.
This is our 9th match of the night. Is this the first time a Merrillville wrestler has had a lead in one of the matches?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I was...
Good double.
Run his feet.
You know, and the thing for Jason's going to be that you're going to have a showdown with Bates at the DAC. You're going to have a showdown with Bates possibly at the semi-state. You're not going to see him at the sectional and regional level. That's one of the top guys in the country.
Which we will be here for the DAC on the 16th. Confirmed that with Athletic Director Bill DeRula this evening. We will have live video coverage from the DAC here at Crown Point.
And that will be exciting.
Oh, yeah. Always one of the best duels. One of the best conferences in the state.
They're still working on fan rules and everything for that, if that's going to be allowed. But
are they still going to do it as an individual, or are they going to run it as a duel?
That I'm not sure of.
I know a lot of times, a lot of the conferences have been trying to switch it, you know, so you minimize
Contact.
Yeah. And Jason, I believe this is his first match down at 220 also. I know he had wrestled heavyweight a lot this year. He'll probably end up being a college heavyweight. I don't know if he's, you know, what size he's going to be, if he's going to be a 97. I mean, that's the hard part about college, right, with the bigger guys.
Yeah, you got a big jump there.
You know, a guy, you know, because a lot of those college heavyweights are a lot taller. You know, they can kind of fill in. In 97, you know, you still kind of got to be tall. You're not going to be, you know, a 5'6", 97-pounder.
Yeah.
Minute 40 to go in the second. Streck of Merrillville up 4-2 over Will Clark of Crown Point. All Bulldogs, though, 48-0.
I like that setup also from Streck there, that little bit of an elbow pass. It looks like he's trying to push a little bit too much.
Yeah.
But I think that's another low-risk setup where, you know, you can kind of clear and get to, you know, the attack position there.
Yeah, put your head right in the pocket, clear that collar tie and fire off to your offense, or just clearing it right back into a controlled tie for yourself to reinitiate that offense for you.
Here, and this is one of the things, like your Crown Point, you want him to circle a little bit more. He's kind of heading to the corner, and Streck's kind of chasing him. You know, a lot of those attacks right now have been on the line.
High school wrestling on the Region Sports Network, presented by Team Toyota on 41 in Schererville. Online at teamtoyotaon41.com. Thanks to Jason Akers, all the great folks over there for their sponsorship. Presenting sponsor of high school wrestling all season long.
Paul Clark's still in this match. It's a takedown match here.
Yeah, he's done a great job to really slow down the offense to finish out the second period so far. Keeping his ties kind of controlled, staying in front. Now he's in on a low double. And Evans said that maybe a knee tapped out for the 3 points out before he circled around. Maldonado, see if he could work some magic, but I don't know if he's going to be able to work that kind of magic in Crown Point tonight.
We're seeing the Crown Point coaches on the far side of the mat from us getting pretty intense and, you know, talking to Clark. What message are they giving him at this point?
I see from what I'm seeing of Coach Vince Sessa, he's yelling, "Hey, control that elbow on that tie. You don't really want to give up any control on the ties because that's where Streck's been highly successful when he controls ties, get to his offense."
Yeah, I mean, just trying to keep him in it. It's still a takedown match here.
Final 5 seconds of the second.
It looks like Streck's kind of trying to drape on that collar tie. I don't know if he's trying to go to a shrug right there, but Paul Clark's not bad with the legs here, so first move's going to be real important here for Jason on the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to get to some action right away, especially on a leg rider. You don't really want to sit down there.
Just kind of.
And he quad pods and works his way back up. A nice ankle pick to cradle for Streck.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to, that's going to be a 5-pointer here, but it's not going to reflect how really close this match was going into this last period.
Yeah, if you're Clark, you take that second period, highlight what you did there, and try to find some offense off of that, because he wrestled really tough that whole second period. A little slow start in the first, and then just clean up where your feet are at during that front headlock position.
Yeah.
And you're only down 3. Just clear out of that, give up your 1, and live to fight a minute and a half.
That was Merrillville's first win, so it's 48-6 now, Crown Point. And this was a good match a couple times last year with Jack Reese and Teddy Sparks here. Theodore Sparks also, I believe that Theodore Sparks had a win over Jack Reese at some point last year, maybe the regional or the North qualifier. And then I believe he placed higher than him at freshman and sophomore. But Jack Reese has been getting a lot of varsity matches in, and Theodore Sparks has been behind Jason Streck.
Again, one of my favorite things about the empty gyms is you can hear a lot more of the coaching. You can hear Brandon Lork. You let him to get the underhook.
Yeah, Coach Lauren. I mean, that was the theme. I mean, like Mike said in the last match, with Streck, get to your underhook, really kind of run this guy up to extend him so you could get to your high percentage offense. You're not giving up any position when you're going to score. Now he's in a body lock, and then we got a double over. So this is always interesting with big guys.
Oh. And that's a big guy to be on top of you. It's going to be tough to get out of there.
Yeah.
It's a long time. It's a minute to be on your back.
Yeah, in that double over position, you really got to commit to get your hips underneath you to explode. Because if you got a big man like that landing on your chest.
Good fight there by Teddy Sparks there, getting an arm through. Now he's going to this arm roll here. He's going to try to get him.
Right.
35 seconds to go in the first.
So he already rewarded the reversal here. He's kind of got like a bulldog position. Now he's going to try to hook up this. We called this a bulldog up. No, he ditched it with that bar arm.
Yeah, like bar arm, like Iowa Hawkeye style, little front headlock position. But yeah, Reese, way to work out of that, out of danger for himself. But
10 seconds.
And I think Reese, really, there you go, get the one short time there to make it 6-2 heading into the third period or second period. A good exchange there.
Yeah, good heart there by Teddy Sparks, fighting off your back, because when you're a heavyweight, once you get on your back, more times than not, it turns into.
Oh, and Jack
inevitable.
Reese isn't little.
No.
That's not a little man to be on top of you.
And it's not often you see that much action in a heavyweight match for the entire match, nonetheless, the first period.
I think they've really done a good job of helping Reese get some more offense. I think he was trying to go to that head pinch a little too much, and he was kind of losing. He was kind of in a weird position there. But I think that body lock was good. It's kind of something he went there. I don't know, Teddy Sparks went double overs a little bit there.
Yeah, and Teddy Sparks here, he's working to get a little armbar action, put it right on Reese's back. I know in the recent years I've seen Merrillville doing this breakdown a lot.
Yeah, and I think this is a pretty efficient pinning combination. If we can get this locked up, nope, he's going to lose it there. Maybe go to that gable, where he pinches his knees there and gets to that bulldog.
Yep.
70 seconds remaining here in the second. Still 6-2 in favor of Reese of Crown Point.
Yeah, Teddy Sparks got to keep running his feet with that head in the pocket. Reese is leaving his knee right there.
Yeah, this was a 1-0 match at freshman-sophomore North qualifier. Teddy Sparks already way more points this one.
8-2 now. I want to thank everybody for spending some of their Wednesday night with us here on the Region Sports Network, watching some high school wrestling presented by Team Toyota. Whether you're watching on our websites, on Facebook, on YouTube, appreciate you tuning in.
Looking out for that shoulder.
22 seconds remaining here in the second. 8-2 Jack Reese of Crown Point.
Yeah, and I think Coach Lork there is yelling at Reese to get back to that, just be under control and be wary of that shoulder. So you could go put a match away when you have a pinning combination almost dead to rights there. So, but good for Teddy Sparks up right away with short time.
And these are both young guys. I know Teddy Sparks was I think a fifth placer at freshman sophomore state. I don't think Jack Reese placed. And I'm sure that Jack Reese probably wrestles with Coach Lork a lot. I mean, Lork was a 97-pounder.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd be dusting off the shoes to wrestle no heavyweights as I get older, but hey, if Coach Lork is doing it, more power to him.
8-3 the score here as we start the third. 48-6 the dual score.
And then I'm sure Sparks gets to wrestle Shrek every day. So,
Yep.
I mean, you have a great drill partner, a great live go partner every single day.
And if
So.
those brothers ever come home, he probably gets to have that action.
Yeah, that's a bit of a meat grinder right there for you.
So 8-4. He's going back to this body lock. Teddy Sparks kind of going to this like double overs. I don't know if I like that position with that big guy.
Yeah, you got to really commit to that or have some good Greco background for you to be comfortable there. Reese was doing a good job there, stepping in front. When I have a body lock, that's what I like to do, step in front, right in the middle, really commit your hips underneath. But Teddy Sparks being athletic right there and keeping his feet clear and squaring back up, and then a little headgear break for him.
Yeah, I think when you're there, maybe if you go that double over, maybe you get that big step, that outside trip. You see a lot of guys going to that now. He's trying to go to double unders.
Minute 10 remaining in this match.
So
Yeah, exchanging some heavy collar ties there. I think Teddy Sparks will probably try to get back to that double unders. He looked pretty confident there.
yeah, chasing 4. Good. He had a good attack there. Stall warning.
A stall warning against Reese.
I can't see him getting hit for 2 here. Good snatch single there.
Yep.
Ooh, get underneath.
If you're a big guy there, I would like to see Teddy Sparks just kind of hit a little dump or crack back single to change the direction on him. Because if you squaring up, going double underneath a big guy, man, you got to be really quick to finish that double, or something like that's going to happen where he squares up his hips, you get caught underneath in a sprawl.
Down to the final 15 seconds of this match.
He's going to go double overs again. Yeah, and it's similar to football. If you go straight on in football, it's going to be a lot harder. When you hit someone from the side, you can really get a good hit.
Yeah.
So Jack Reese with the fall.
Yeah, with just about 7 seconds remaining in the match.
If you're Coach Maldonado, you got to be happy with that. He was going for it. A lot of guys have been happy just taking that one down by 4.
Yeah.
Good win there for Jack Reese. So 54-6 now, Crown Point. There's going to be a forfeit here at 6 for Evan Cruz.
And it's a confidence builder for Reese going into DAC next week, and for the seating meeting if they keep it an individual format. Avenge a loss from last year, and by a handily amount.
So you got Anthony Ball here and David Maldonado. Anthony Ball took his first loss of the year down at Brownsburg.
Yeah, I think this he's probably going to be one of the ones kind of like the Logan Frazier of last year, where on how high he finishes, this could be a guy that could go get you some extra points that you might not expect when you're looking at the rankings.
Right, going to be crucial for that state championship run.
I think right now he's ranked 7th. He had that loss to Noah Likens of Columbus East in a really exciting match. And David Maldonado's had some nice matches also. He had a nice win over, I think, let me see here. They have it all on here, so I know he had some solid results. Dylan Bennett of Penn, he was a solid freshman also, a 6-pounder.
Good return there by Ball. That's what you want to see when the guy comes up to his feet. That's how you don't get any stalling calls. Right there, getting hands on the same side, power lift.
Anthony Ball is another guy that really uses his length really well.
Oh yeah, he's so long for 113 pounds, so you got to be careful underneath. Can't leave your head by any knees. And you don't really want to scramble with this guy because he can cover a lot of room.
He catches arm right here and get some back points. He's looking for the fall.
35 seconds to go in the first.
Yeah, when you're wrestling this Crown Point lineup, you don't want to do anything to give them free points.
Yeah.
You know these guys are going to work.
They're going to take plenty of their own.
They're going to take some of their own, and you don't want to just gift them some of those points like that, forcing a scramble position when you're already on bottom.
This is Coach Maldonado's middle son. I think he has one that's a 7th or 8th grader, possibly an 8th grader.
Final 3 seconds.
And his oldest son graduated last year, medaled, won the Mental Attitude Award.
4-0 in favor of Anthony Ball. Yeah, we had a chance to talk to him. I don't think we did an interview with him afterwards.
Yeah,
seemed like a real great kid.
Yeah, really good kid. I mean,
playing soccer in college, I believe.
And David also plays soccer. I think Malik Hall is a soccer player for them. They sent me. They have a couple multi-sport guys that, where you don't always think the translation between soccer and wrestling.
Usually that fall sport is football.
And they have some football guys: Crisp, Williams, Tuggle, Span, Streck.
We saw it last year with Chris Walton. Stand out in both sports.
Yeah, Merrillville usually does a great job of getting the football players out on the wrestling team. And that's why you've seen them over these past decades, that they have these heavier guys that come over from football that are really athletic, and they make good runs down at the state tournament.
Minute 18 to go in the second. 7-0 Anthony Ball. Looking to get the fall here.
Yeah, this is where that length just comes into play. You get tied up in all sorts of positions that you don't want to be in.
There's the fall with 1:04 remaining in the second. Has every match been decided by a fall this evening?
Yes.
Yeah, and the forfeit. That makes it 66-6 in favor of Crown Point.
So they're going to have Lucas Clement and Logan Frazier. Lucas Clement was a kid. I think he wrestled his middle school in Bloomington. He's a Bloomington South kid, and then came up to Merrillville.
Well, welcome up to the region, Lucas Clement.
Yeah,
got to stick with the colors though.
Yeah. Bloomington South, a really good program. Logan Frazier, one of the guys that really improved through the season last year for Crown Point. You just seen his confidence growing as the year went on. Good attack there.
Yeah, when he's firing, he's super smooth, flowing into attacks from ties right into some leg attacks.
You can tell he's wrestling with a lot of confidence. Real good fisherman. You follow the family, you see them on their vacations. He's always catching these huge fish. Another takedown. He's a guy that's been doing it for a long time also. He has all the kid accolades coming through, elementary and middle school. A couple-time middle school placer.
Yeah, he's a guy that has been around the block. A lot of these younger CP guys, they're not so young in wrestling years. More say, because, they've been around the sport for a long time.
And I know me and Nate have talked about it before, and you're kind of closer to that scene now. What is it like the normal guy, like a guy like this getting in matches a year? Like, what are your younger guys getting in matches a year?
It depends on how much they want to do. We don't really set any matches. A lot, which is popular now, is these dual tournaments.
Yeah.
So a lot of these kids are being recruited to be on a bunch of different teams.
Steve, that's gonna be.
So
seconds.
I would say they get around how many an average high school average high school season is. I would imagine probably anywhere from 30 to 40 matches in on the year themselves.
So good job to fight there for Lucas Clement. That was deep. I thought
Yeah,
that
I
was
thought we were going to get the fall there, too.
Yeah.
So 7-2. And Lucas Clement's grown a lot since last year. I think he was an undersized 13. I think he wrestled some 6 for them. I thought he was going to return at 106 this year. I actually had him in the preseason rankings at 106. I know he's wrestled some 26, though. Yeah, you see some of the kids that are wrestling those elementary school tournaments, and they're getting 50 matches, and so I mean, as you're going up, your mat experience and where you're at, your positioning stuff's gonna be good.
Yeah, the only thing that I feel like a lot of these, I mean, they're ready for this stage and a lot, but when it gets to that kind of environment where it's all eyes on you, I think that's the only little bit of experience that they might be missing, some of those guys, because tournaments are just so big and they can't really host it like that. I mean, there's some national tournaments.
Yeah, you go like Tulsa.
Tulsa, they pull out all the bells and whistles for you to really put on a show. Yeah, but there's also still like 10 mats going on at the same time when you're wrestling a finals match. So
yeah. But I mean, just like attendance-wise, I think that's one of the things. Like when you walk out and Bankers you see all these guys. But I mean, that Tulsa kickoff is unreal. That Cliff King kickoff.
Yeah, we usually average about, I would say around about 10 to 15 guys usually go for us down there. So
yeah, you guys had a really good showing this year, right?
At the kickoff classic, yeah, we had some guys because I mean we're blessed to have Illinois guys in the room too that really make the room a lot better and elevate our room. So over there at RWA, so
not sure what happened with our camera there. Audio was coming through, but we missed a little bit of the picture. It's 10-2 our score.
Here's another turn here for Frazier.
A little potentially dangerous because he blocked that arm out there like that. I think that's what Evans was calling. But Logan Frazier, when he throws in legs too, he's ringing guys like a rag.
So make it 10-3.
45 seconds to go in the second.
That's a very strong position, especially if you haven't been in that position, especially being underneath that. The guys that are legging the top level guys, we've seen Drew Hughes, he was an RWA guy also. Michigan State got a good attack there by Clement. That could be a game changer. I mean, in these short right out situations, they're getting turns like Frazier's doing here.
Yeah, you're racking up the points, and you're taking a lot of wind out of the sails when you're putting a guy underneath you and throwing the legs in. If you're really stretching them out, because they're just fighting to not give up points at that point. They're not really fighting to work for an escape anymore. You're fighting to get back to a base where you're comfortable. So those rides those are really effective.
And they had, you look at a guy like, Coach Hawkins, his son Landon, they said he's a pretty good legger. He's a 7th grader. That's a guy that's going to be in here in 2 years. I'm sure, having that experience of, just being comfortable in those positions. Because you do get put in some weird positions there where you're going to be, you feel like you're in danger.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, guys like Drew Hughes that are tremendous with legs, I mean, that's why this area is so great. They come back and they help out these youth guys and really evolve their game at a younger age so they can be ready and putting on a show by the time they get into high school and being pretty polished in all areas of their wrestling.
So 12-3, and that's going to be another takedown for Frazier, making 14-3. Does he get that wrist in a wing here?
Yeah, he's got the wrist in the wing there, and then he was looking to slip a leg in. Didn't get that, so he's just finding a way to work, and then he's getting this wrist. Now he's going to go running here a bit. And there he goes.
Minute 13, it's a long time to be in that position.
It's the worst. Fortunately, didn't have to spend too much time there during my day, but been there a couple times, and it's just never, ever where I wanted to be.
The fall streak continues. Logan Frazier gets the win with just over a minute remaining in the match.
So it sounds like Malik Hall is going to give a forfeit here.
No, we're going to have...
So you're going to have
Gabe Kritzer.
Gabe Kitzer's going to get the forfeit here. I think Malik Hall's battling some injuries. They're going to raise his hand. It's going to be at 78-6 for Crown Point.
So forfeit at 126, and that's going to do it this evening. Crown Point's going to win it 78-6. Guys, something we talked about before we went on air, mentioned it early. The Bulldogs in business mode this evening. They came out and dominated.
Yeah, we kind of talked about it to kick the show off. This is the second part of the season. Now this is where you're looking, and those guys, I know the hashtag for those guys is Blue Rings. Blue Rings, you're going to keep fighting and fighting and fighting, and those guys are thinking about Banker's Life in February.
Yeah, yeah, they're polishing everything up. Like Mike said earlier, we didn't get to finish up on. They're polishing things up, and they're trying to peak at the right time. And a performance like that looks like you're heading in the right direction to peak down the stretch.
Yeah, every match tonight that we had 12 matches, all of them decided by fall. Strike with the one fall for Merrillville. Other than that, absolute domination by Crown Point here tonight in this DAC duel. We'll see them again at the DAC tournament a week from Saturday. We'll be back here from Crown Point High School. So we'll get the exact format and everything on there for you guys. We'll let you know what our exact coverage is going to be in the next few days. So stay with us at regionsports.com, facebook.com/regionsports, and, of course, regionwrestling.com. Guys, final thoughts on tonight's pretty quick duel here?
Yeah, this is probably not in a negative way. I don't want it to come off negative, and it's not like a hot take. I'm not a hot take guy. But
I don't know, some of your White Sox takes.
I know, man. No, those are good. Those are really good. So follow me on Twitter for White Sox takes. No, this is probably the most down I've seen Merrillville since Dave's been there, and even probably before that, because I think Randy Kaliza did a nice job for those guys. And you run into a team that might be one of the best teams to come out of the region, and I think I made that statement. Maybe that is a hot take. I think I've been following region wrestling since '96. This might be one of the more complete teams that I think can really go and win an individual title. We didn't have that. I mean, Crown Point won a couple there. No, Portage was close.
Yeah. I mean, with that format, we probably would have had a few more state titles than we do because it was a duel back then, and those were the modern day buzzsaw years. So individually, we put out some teams, but I mean, this Crown Point team's right up there with all of them.
And I would say even duel wise, they went down to Brownsburg and we talk about how they lost. They weren't wrestling with Sam Goyne, who didn't compete tonight either. And Stephen Roberson, two guys that,
make a huge impact in this lineup.
Without a doubt. And it's bringing the other guys along with them. And I think they do a great job of elevating guys' status. The Crown Point Bulldogs do. And I think for, Dave, this is bulletin board material. This is what he does best. He gets guys motivated. They're going to break down tape. That's going to be a difficult loss, Like, I mean, Lewis, you've been doing it for a while. This is the most down you've probably seen Merrillville in a while.
Yeah, in a while, yeah. And this, like Mike said, going to be some bulletin board material, crunch the film. And Dave usually has his guys primed up and ready, making great runs with guys that you never even heard of, making great runs down the state.
And especially with the DAC so close, we'll see how he's going to be able to keep motivated for that. Just over a week remaining, so you're going to see Crown Point, a lot of these similar matchups in just over a week's time.
Well, I don't think it's. He's probably, around the state, he's one of the guys that knows how to get the most out of his guys. He's got guys to the state semifinals that have been wrestling for 3 years, and it's not easy. There's guys that wrestle their whole life that don't make it to the bank.
Right.
And he's got guys like, I started wrestling as a freshman.
I believe Chris Walton was
one
of those guys.
Yeah, and he's in the state semifinals wrestling Joe Walker, who was on a commit to Michigan to the death, And he does that every year, and that's why around the state he's one of the best coaches. So this is going to be one of those things that are going to have to make the adjustment. It's a weird year. You're not maybe doing the things that you would normally do, and it's difficult. That's probably, what do you usually get? 50 matches, 45 matches in a year?
Yeah.
They might get 20 this year.
Right. Well, one thing we know with Coach Maldonado, they're going to be putting the work in the room, of course, and as Mike mentioned, studying that film. We'll see them next week at the DAC. We'll see Crown Point next week at the DAC, and that's when we'll talk to you guys next for high school wrestling. Guys, nice job tonight, as always.
Thank you.
Always fun to work with you.
Thank you.
Want to thank Bill DeRula, the athletic director here at Crown Point. Our executive producer is Chris Ramirez. Bobby Quinn on the camera doing a fantastic job.
Clean cut Bobby, man.
That's right. From Mike Reiser, for Louis Acuna, my name is Nathan Laird saying thanks for watching. You have been watching a Team Toyota presentation of high school wrestling on the Region Sports Network, where the region comes to wrestle.